We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you another episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, already in progress.
Are
Okay,
you gonna be
hey.
able to find the button at the end?
Oh, the lights are on. All right.
Okay.
Hey, we're back, Woody. Can you
I
believe it?
know, and it's all my fault. I know the crowds have been clamoring like, I thought you were only taking a week off, and ended up being 2 weeks. So let me tell you, when you ask your travel agent, aka wife, what day are we leaving, to come home, and she says Wednesday, you normally think you're getting home Wednesday evening, right? I mean,
Well,
wouldn't that be your?
it depends on where you're coming from.
Well, I didn't take that into account, apparently. So she said, we're leaving Wednesday. I said, oh, good. I'll just do the podcast Thursday night, I thought, and I'll be fine. She goes, well, you're not getting home till 6 a.m. Thursday morning. I'm like, oops, didn't take that day off work.
That flying east is no fun, is it?
No, it's horrible, and I really took its toll on me this time. So it's my fault. We were 2 weeks because come Thursday midday, I think I actually they let you have Wi-Fi now on American Airlines. So I was actually mid Pacific Ocean when I texted you, can we push this off another week? Because I did not think I would be very sane come Thursday evening.
So they don't have staff running around the plane saying, listen, you got to turn your phone off. You're going to wreck the plane if you
No,
don't.
you're allowed to put it on Wi-Fi. You have to put it in airplane mode, but you can turn your Wi-Fi on.
Do you believe all? Well, first of all, tell listeners where you've been. We'll get
I
into some of the
was
stories.
in. We took a trip to Hawaii as a family. The all three children were able to meet us there and join us in Kauai, Hawaii.
And this was a bonus from management, right?
Oh,
Basically,
yeah,
they
of
said,
course.
we,
Yeah,
we
I
hit our
resigned.
numbers.
Yeah, and I resigned, and they said, "Hey, why don't you take the whole family to Hawaii and go ahead and put it on your credit card and trust us, we'll pay you back."
Yeah, I
So,
got Pittsburgh out of the deal, and
okay.
the parking spot. You said I've got a parking spot, but I'll take Hawaii. Is that
Right.
how it worked out?
Yeah, essentially. That's essentially what
Essentially.
happened. So, yeah, so it that was 10 hours of flying from Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we flew into Barb and myself. We did it on points, so we couldn't get on the same flights as the kids. But so me and her flew to Honolulu via San Diego, and then my London child flew to London to LAX, and my boy flew Charlotte to LAX, and then they flew to Honolulu. And Barb used to work there years and years and years ago, and she still knew some people there. So they were gracious enough to take us out to dinner the first night there in Hawaii.
Ah,
I meant to look up the place. It's no longer there as of this year, but the Sony Open used to be played there at that golf course. I'm not sure the name of it.
did
So
it get swallowed up in the volcano? And
no, that's the other. That's the actual Hawaii island, the big island they call it, and that's where the active volcanoes are. So
okay,
the rest of them are dormant at this time. So in probably, I guess, if you believe the geologists, I guess they will be forever. But you know, we'll see. Time will tell. But so anyhow, and then we got on next day we got on a plane and flew to Kauai. And
so
I
wait,
am
was your Appalachian State daughter with you as well?
she then flew. She had some work commitments, and so she flew on the 3 days later to directly to Kauai from
Charlotte
was
direct.
v no Charlotte LAX Kauai. So there's no direct from
Charlotte, yeah.
Charlotte that I'm aware of. I know there is from Atlanta on Delta, but I don't think there is from Charlotte. Regardless, so she met us 2 days later after we got to Kauai, and I'm blessed to have free accommodations in on the island of Kauai. My uncle has some property there that he bought some 30 years ago, I bet, at this point. And so he offered to allow us the use of his place. He was supposed to be there originally, but he had some commitments back on the mainland that he couldn't get out of. So we got the whole pad to ourselves, if you will.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, I did a
And
little research on
yeah,
realtor.com and found out that the average household is like $500,000 out there to buy a house.
and that would be something
Yeah,
way
not
off
much.
the beaten path. I I don't want to brag, but this house was one of the it was shown on one of those HGTV shows of world's not fanciest homes, but
Caviar riches and
yeah, it wasn't
champagne
really
dreams.
because I mean it has spectacular views. It's a one story in a beautiful home, very large home. I think it's like 10,000 square feet or something like that.
Good grief.
But it sits up on a cliff overlooking a river, and the ocean is like half a mile away, if that, maybe even a quarter mile, because you have very good views of you could see the beach and everything down below. Um, I should have shared pictures of it on here.
Is that the picture out the back deck where the river was going through? I saw.
Yes. Yeah. When you asked for some scenic pictures, that was me looking off the back deck towards the inwards towards the island. So
And his name is
yeah, I'm
Barack
not
Obama.
selling. Exactly. Wrong island. I think he's on Oahu, is he not?
I
Uh,
I don't keep up with him.
I don't keep up with any president, to be honest with you. I just remember he was having a home built somewhere
Yeah.
in the Hawaiian Islands, and I, for
Well,
some
last time
reason, had it in my
he was
head.
spotted in New York City apparently night before last without Michelle. That's all I know. But
Oh
anyway,
my God.
I know.
Oh my
Well,
God. Yeah.
yeah, they got their separate lives now. But anyway, let's not do that. Um, well,
So
so that's awesome.
yeah.
You seem to luck into the.
That is definitely a very blessed thing to have in my circle of family. So we do take advantage of it from time to time. This is, I think, my fifth time that he's invited slash us, inviting
Are
ourselves
you at liberty
sometimes.
to kind of? Is he in an industry that you can at least share a type of work he does, or no?
He's no longer working. He retired a few years ago, but he had a company that so he continuing education units like you have to do for
Yeah.
your
Well,
well pre 9/11 was pretty much what he would do is he would set up the conference. He had doctors on contracts, right? The teaching doctors, if you will.
right.
And he would set up he would get a conference room, rent it, set up room bookings, and then he knew how to he had mailing lists and contacts lists
Right,
for
right.
all the people that needed medical CEUs. And so he just did that
So he
for
sat at home
30
in his
years or
lazy
something.
boy signing certificates
Essentially, yeah,
at five
essentially,
thousand
yeah.
dollars a clip.
Yeah, he did very. I actually looked at buying the business from him at some point, but unfortunately, a company, it was worth a lot of money, obviously, and unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of money. But
That's that's a
yeah,
downside.
yeah, because I couldn't get a loan because there's no equity in a company like
Yeah,
that.
there's
He
they
has
don't
no
just
assets,
paper and
right?
pens.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He had a mailing list. Well, that isn't worth X million dollars to a bank, so no one was going to give me a loan. And so he was looking to, he gave me the opportunity, but he was looking to basically cash out then and there. And,
Well,
if any kind of payment plan or anything like that was probably wouldn't have
listen,
been good because it's family.
$100 and
Yeah.
$100 a month,
Yeah.
and I'll give you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
offered something similar to that. And then you know what, 9/11 happened, and so
All right.
the business has gone totally online at this point, which I was planning to do anyhow. I had a business partner that was going to do that. But needless to say, that's where he made the bulk of his money over the course of his career.
Well,
So
good for him. God bless
yeah.
America.
So
Who says
yeah,
this isn't a great country?
yeah.
All right,
So
so you got a little golf in? Did you play a little the
well,
links?
I gotta throw a advertisement out to Breezy's Rise and Shine Cafe.
Ooh,
It's basically a food truck essentially on the island, but it happens to be run by my cousin, and she is I wouldn't say just boyfriend, but maybe a little bit more than that. But she has a connection with the superintendent of a certain golf course there. So
So some more freebies came to
yes,
Woody's way.
exactly. So another savings, if you will. So we were happy to visit Breezy's Rise and Shine on a couple mornings to drop by and get some. I didn't let her compass on the food, so at the
Oh,
very
well, that's
least.
big of
So
you. I
yeah,
mean,
I
you
know.
said I'm paying for the coffee. I'm not going to say
Right,
no. I'm not going to
right,
take a no. But
exactly. And it's
but
in a
you
beautiful location in the
but you
Princeville
can
area.
comp me the 250 round of golf.
Yeah, right, exactly. I offered there is a guest rate, but they went ahead and I
I'm
don't know if
paying for the
they.
teas. Don't give me any
Yeah,
pushback.
exactly.
Playing with these pink and yellow balls.
Yeah, I planned on buying all the beer, but they show up, with all their own, of course. So, but anyhow, yes, and that's a picture I sent you from. Did I send you that one on the golf
You
course?
sent me a longer shot of a sand trap. It looked like you were trying to avoid or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay, yeah. So, yeah, that was actually we flew in that morning and drove straight to the golf course, to do that. And it's also nice that my cousin is also the caretaker of my uncle's place. So,
Oh,
because he
well.
does rent it out in the winter time,
Is this on
and
the Woody side of the family or is this on the other side?
isn't
Is
that
it
both sides of my family?
your
It's
cousin?
my father's side of the family.
Okay.
So. So anyhow,
Well,
so
well
that is
done.
all intertwined, and we had a grandiose time. So if you find yourself in Kauai, make sure you visit Breezy's Rise and Shine.
Breezy's Rise and Shine.
Yeah,
It's more than just a food truck.
yeah, exactly. If you, she's the hostess with the mostest and all those kind of good things. So, and there's a nice little sitting area that you can overlook the ocean while you're enjoying your morning breakfast.
So was there, other than all the the grandiose, instead of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, we're going to change the show to We Can Help with Dave and the Mooch.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm real good at free. That's my favorite flavor. I tell everybody is free.
Is that your short arm, the credit card? Like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, exactly. I just did that recently. Where the hell was it? Oh,
The
no, it
listener.
wasn't there. It wasn't there. No, I
Yeah.
did that somewhere where I'm like, I offered, but they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, you just asked once. I'm
I
like,
can't
well,
find
it's
my
just a
wallet, but
bit.
I did offer.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
So before we leave Hawaii, was there, other than these great stories, was there a takeaway this trip that you felt like, wow, this is,
Well, I tell everybody all the time, if you're gonna go all the way to Hawaii, make sure you go to the Kauai Island, and it's the farthest west of them, but it's next to Oahu, which is the main Honolulu
yeah,
Waikiki Beach. Waikiki Beach? Yeah, I think that's right. Because it's the most if when
Hawaiian.
you in yeah when you think of Hawaii, what you see on Kauai is that you don't often see that on the other islands. I don't understand the appeal of Maui. Everybody goes there. I get the big island because there's active volcanoes and it's kind of cool to go
Yeah.
witness that. But it really is just a gorgeous island, and I have not run out of things to do there. This time, my new tour I did or whatever new things I did this time were we did a rum tour. There's a Kauai rum company, so we did that. That was a new trip for me, and there was something else we did. But I tell you what, the Dapali coastline is unbelievable.
Hmm.
We were going to do a catamaran along the ocean side because you can't get there by car. At least the beach side. You can't get there by car. But it was very windy that day and pretty wavy, so we backed out. We're like, because I can get seasick, and I was like, I don't need to do this. So, but you can drive to the very top. The problem with that is you're literally in the clouds. You're at that level
Right.
that the clouds come in. So if you don't time it right, you're socked in. And you can't see your
Right.
your feet below you. But we lucked out. If you can wait around a half an hour, it usually blows through. But the top of that island is supposedly the wettest place on Earth because it rains so much up there. But
Moist.
yeah, so we were able to. So I'm always just fascinated by the beauty of that island and everything there is to do on it, and I definitely will be returning as well. So
So that, in your opinion,
whether
that
he
was
wants me to or not,
well, that was a good acquisition on the part of the United States to go ahead and pick that one up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We heard a little bit of that history, I think. I know
Yeah.
what we did. We did a sunset tour of it was part of the golf course as well, but that we paid for. So I didn't mooch that. But yeah, it was a little, they put a little they have a guided tour of the area up there. So it's interesting. Anyhow,
Very good. And
yeah.
everyone made all of the no horrific connecting. Was your brother and his wife involved in this trip?
No, they're actually, I think they're going there for Thanksgiving, as a matter of fact. But no, everybody's flights were
Unscathed.
unremarkable, I guess, is what you want, right? Maybe a
Yeah,
little
I
late
mean, because
here or there.
you had some challenges getting in and out of California last time. I know.
Oh,
Last
that's
time
right.
I heard.
That's right. My flight got canceled. I forgot about that. So we were on the way. Oh, no, that was my daughter going back to London. The flight showed up canceled, but they had another plane. It was weird. We never did figure out what that was all about, but she made it back as well.
Well, it
So,
was an interesting travel week because you were in Hawaii, and I don't want to get too far into this, but I have a sibling, my eldest. Okay, here
mhm.
we go. We did this before with Pat Elder. No, wait a minute.
Oh,
He
that's right. We
fixed it.
haven't talked about that yet either.
So,
We were corrected.
yeah, my sibling would be my eldest sister because there's more. Okay. We had a listener correct us on something, so I think it's important that we
And I forget the verbiage, but I've been doing that to my family now. Thank you, Pat Kelly. I'm going to out
yeah.
you on here that you're not my youngest daughter, you're my younger daughter. Because something about if it's more than two, you use the EST, and if it's one or two, and I forget the grammar phrasing
Um
for that.
now how would I find that? Let's see, Eric.
It was it a post, an email? I forget how
No,
it
he
came to
sent it
us.
to
But yeah, as you so that's the juxt of it. So if it's more than two times that you can add the EST to it, as it's the my youngest child, right? Because I have three children,
yeah,
but two
I
of them are
really
daughters, so it's my younger daughter.
okay. Here we go.
You find it? I can look it up if need be.
Yeah, I can't it's a feed where both of us, all three of us are in it, and I can't see it.
Yeah. Oh, it
Uh
was a text feed. Was
it's a
that it?
text. Yeah. Look
Oh,
for it
okay.
real quick while I'm kind of stalling for
All right, I'll find it.
space. You found it?
No, I said I'll find it. You
Yeah.
stalled.
So anyway, my sister, she's got some medical stuff. I won't get into it, but here it is. I got it.
Okay.
Um okay. So he says what did he say?
Oh, I thought you were ready. I stopped looking
I
for it.
know. Okay, grammar. He says, well, it's a long one. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dave, Sarah talking about my younger daughter would be your younger daughter. You would need at least three daughters to have a youngest. Are you familiar with
Daughter.
that rule?
No, I was not, because I'm
So,
like, she's still your youngest.
well, apparently English, according to Pat Kelly, and I did look this up, I thought, and it was legitimate.
Oh,
So he
I assumed
says,
it was. Yeah.
so in context, what I'm trying to say that we butchered this whole bit is I have three other siblings in my life, four of us total. So my eldest sibling, who is my sister, oh for God's sakes, we just kicked that dead horse. Anyway, Pat, I hope you enjoyed that. Messed me
Just
up for my
ruined
entire
us for
life.
life. Yeah.
Anyway, she's under the weather, some stuff going on. And so my brother, who's in St. Louis, I'm texting fervently, like, hey, have you heard anything from my sister's
So
husband?
and so.
Have you heard any
Oh, okay.
updates? And so I didn't read his feed, but the day before, apparently, he's in London.
Oh,
So
okay. So
he
you're texting him in the middle of the night. And he's like, would you knock it off?
Well, he and his oldest son, because there's three of them, decided his son, the oldest one, does something with the, I don't know if he's with the London Bureau of Trade anymore. I don't know who he's with, but they ended up going to France. And Frank, my brother, wanted to put 3 days in London. So I'm getting a text from him. He says, hey, listen, I'm on the way to Heathrow to catch a flight back through Toronto to St. Louis. Let me get on the ground and I'll call you back.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, what's going on? I go to Pittsburgh. That's a big city. And my brother's in London.
You don't leave the East Coast, and
yeah, you're in Hawaii. Frank's in Lourdes, France, and London, and God only knows. Anyway,
well, at least he wasn't there when Paris won the Premier Cup or whatever their team is, because they had riots in Paris. What is that? Why?
Oh boy, I don't know.
How do you riot when your team wins? Makes no sense.
Well, I don't know. You have to call the people in Minnesota.
Drives me crazy.
About that. I don't know. I don't know why you tear stuff up when you're winners. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Yeah, let me burn a couple cars and throw rocks at the police.
That's kind of the French way of doing things. You know, they can't. They're good at waving a white flag, apparently. So I don't know.
Ouch. All right.
All right. Let's not get down that path. But okay, so we're amongst world travelers, I guess, is the point of this whole story. That's just pretty cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And it was nice of management to pick up a tab for you to jet out to Hawaii, and I got to stay home and
oh, that's right. You have something stay home to talk about, though.
Well, so I want to put a full disclosure that two things have happened this week. The running joke is I have retired. And of course, my wife, who's probably close enough to put her foot in my backside, has reminded me several times, listen here, fat boy, you have not retired. You just quit teaching. And so
you still need to earn some money.
Yeah, I still need to go to work. And she's not going to put up with me lounging around on the sofa, smoking cigars while she's at work. So what the long story short of it is, I had a teaching certificate that has expired. So in case there's any students or the parents of students or administrators that happen to stumble across this podcast and realize that me, a former teacher, keyword former, is no longer employed by Clay County Schools. And so,
or any other school system.
Or any other school system. So what I may say, and we're going to keep this professional like we've always done on this show.
So suck on that.
But if I were to take, maybe a swig of bourbon or something that may be somewhat controversial to a young person in the classroom, which I fully understand and embrace, it has nothing to do with that anymore because I'm no longer a teacher. So like Woody said, suck on that.
So you're starting as a daycare personnel next week, right?
Yeah, 6 and under. Yeah. No. Anyway, so that has finished. My last day was June 1, and I did clock in and go to work on June 1, Monday.
How long were you there? You were out before you even clocked in, right?
Well, the retirement specialist at the district said, listen, Mr. Theus, your date is June 1. If your principal comes to you and says, listen, they're painting the parking lot, which is code word for get out of here, you make sure that you clock in and clock out because June 1 is your last day. So I got up normal hours, went in at 8:20, used my key, what do you call it, key entry, and logged in.
So that's your clocking in is by using the security system?
No, it's not officially clocking in, but it does timestamp me that I'm on the campus.
Right.
So I wanted to have some proof that, hey, Theus is here at the door at 8:30. And then I went all the way over to my classroom. I had to key entry again. I hit that buzzer at like 8:40.
By the way, I didn't remember the code at the door, so I had to call you to get it, remember?
What are you talking about?
Meaning you weren't really there. I went
No. Don't
I went there with your key card. And,
no. Well, you were in Hawaii, so stop that. So anyway,
not on the first I wasn't.
I had several things to do. I had to tear down some stuff in my class to finish up, and then I had to wheel a charging cart full of Chromebooks, which I learned a new trade. I learned a new trick. Have you ever power washed a Chromebook before?
Why would I? Sounds like that's a sure way to ruin
You
them.
don't run it through the car wash.
Well, you just said power wash. What
Well,
else am I going to
I
think?
think it's called power washing. I don't know, for those of that may use Chromebooks, the dumbest tool ever. But you basically, it's a factory reset. You do
Oh,
a series of keystrokes and it puts it back to it gets all the
I'm picturing out there. You bring your power washer in, you're like, you told me to power wash.
But I did that with, I don't know, 30 Chromebooks, and I had to wheel that over to my chairperson, and did that. And then I went back through the front office, turned in my keys, turned in my badge, and spoke to my principal. She signed off on my last piece of documentation. And I said, I'm finished. What do you want me to do? And she goes, you're free to go.
Just like you were
So,
leaving jail.
yeah, 10:30. I wasn't
10:30.
supposed
Oh,
to say
there was
that.
no kids there that day. I'm sorry.
No.
That's right.
And I went straight to Tobacco Cove for several cigars.
There you go. Did you stay there and have one?
I did. I got out there, and it's been kind of a tradition the last day of school for me to go over there and rekindle my relationships with my buddies over there.
No, the guys are there every day.
Yeah, the chain smokers.
Well, you're getting pretty close according to your text messages at night.
Well, it is a hassle to get all the way over there, but it was worth it. It was a nice trip. I got to see some of the guys, and they're always happy to see me. Of course, they're always happy to see me leave too. But
right, the doomch.
Yeah. But anyway, so I am completely finished. So the disclaimer is clearly stated. If one of my past students or their parents see me in this podcast, welcome.
What can I do?
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Have a drink.
All right. On that note, what am I drinking?
I'd like to know that. It's brown.
It's brown.
It looks a couple drams worth. It's in a small but stylish glass.
Yeah, it's not a Claire.
There's no ice. No ice.
We're going neat tonight.
Okay. I'm just saying, it's smooth.
This is
oh, you're going Old Forester.
Old Forester. This is 1920 Prohibition style.
Oh, that makes a big difference because they made it different.
Well, this is a bottle that was American owned still. I don't have an update. We should do that. Oh, hey, no. Alexa, is there an update to the Brown-Forman purchase?
Let me check that for you. I found an order from November 14th for $42.39.
Okay, Alexa, stop. Alexa, volume 9. Alexa, is there a news update on the Brown-Forman purchase from...
I haven't 3 bottles.
Checking for news updates. I'm still seeing the same order from November 14th.
Okay, Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. What that is. All right.
Anyway, yeah, I see an order for adult diapers.
That depends. Let me look that up.
Depends. June 1st.
All right. Anyway, I don't have an update, but as far as we know, it's still an American distillery.
She's acting weird, like she's not doing the AI thing. It sounds like it's the old.
Well, we've been very conversive this week. It's just been she and I, so she's trying to act like we're friends.
Like she's your wife. Okay, I can see what you're doing.
About that. I try to stay out of that nonsense. Anyway,
Dave, you've had too many of those. But
wives?
Anyhow, no bourbons, Old Foresters, or whatever. So, well, so any additional? Mm-hmm. Usually, you drink it on the rocks or the rock.
Well, this is 115, and
I thought it was 100. Isn't your sweet spot 100?
Well, yeah, but I'm out of that bottle. I don't. It evaporates. Okay. Apparently, it evaporates
a little too quickly.
Yeah, this is the 115. This is the Prohibition style, and this is the one that Old Forester had a medicinal license for.
That's right. That's the pro. You know what I found, and I forgot. There's a picture I forgot to send to you. So we made it over to the Costco in Kauai, and I tell you what, liquor. I don't know if you expect things to be very expensive, right? On Kauai, because most things are. Just from shipping and stuff. But man, I wish North Carolina allowed alcohol in the Costco stores. It is because, for one, I hear the Kirkland brand liquors are some of the top shelf stuff just in their bottles, and it's cheap. and there was a whole. You could have bought like there was a whole rack of. I'll have to look it up. A rack of Maker's Mark there.
Oh,
Yeah, that I was going to send your way, but I can't remember the price, but it was below $40 for a handle of all these things. So I didn't buy any because he wasn't going to be there long enough to. Well, if I finished the handle,
you don't want to
might not be home.
You want to set the bar. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So I didn't buy any of them, but I was very impressed by the pricing there on behalf of alcohol.
Yeah, from what I understand, I'm not a vodka drinker, but apparently the Kirkland's vodka is.
Yeah, and that was like $28 for a handle or something like. It was crazy because everything else is expensive there. We just the only reason we went was to buy a few bulk items, to eat, for lunch and stuff like that during the week.
Yeah.
So, but
well, there you go. Great show.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Are you a fan of Schlitz? Speaking of alcohol.
Yeah, did you see the post I put in, or you just read this in the news?
I read this in the news.
Yeah, I posted it to our X account at Dave and Woody Pod.
Shouldn't you save that content for the show instead of just giving the news away for free?
Well, I mean, it was last week, so what he's talking about? Oh, you brought it up. I want to steal your thunder. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I have the basically the story here, but they're owned by Pabst Brewing Company, and maybe this isn't the same story, but they're ending the production of Schlitz.
Yeah.
Okay, same thing. I don't think I've ever had a Schlitz, or if I did, it was before I was of drinking age. It was like it was the cheapest thing in the.
So my father, I can remember as a young man, we had this god awful yellow and green chair back in the 70s. Everything was that kind
of like
a
vinyl chair.
Yeah,
thing?
I guess it was, and that was his chair.
Okay.
And he would come home with a 6-pack of Schlitz, and it had the
in the bottle. In the bottle?
No, in the can.
Wow. In a steel can, probably.
Yep, a steel can, because we used them to make tennis ball launchers out of. But I can remember seeing him like on a Friday afternoon. I mean, he wasn't a power drinker, but I can remember on Friday afternoons, he would have the ring of the cans in his hand, with one in his hand and the other five or
five
four
in his other hand.
And he'd be asleep in the chair because he'd had a few. And I was always thinking I should grab one of those and drink them. But Schlitz, yeah, that was his. That was one of the beers.
I think I grew up by a Schlitz brewery. Yes, there was one on the way to the towards Philadelphia. I think it may have been Schlitz, it might have been something else. But anyhow, did you know it began as a Milwaukee tavern brewery and was once America's largest brewer? It was founded in 1849, and Pabst didn't buy it till 1999. So it was a standalone for 150 years.
Was it a German? Obviously, Schlitz. It must have been
I don't know what that stands for. It doesn't. I didn't get into that, but it says Kirby Nelson with Wisconsin Brewing Company will brew a final 80-barrel batch of Schlitz on Saturday, May 23rd. At its Verona brewery. There you go.
I can't say that I have not gone shopping for a can of Schlitz.
No, that's not on the top of my list.
Didn't they make a malt liquor, Schlitz?
Ask our assistant.
Oh boy.
You're talking
Alexa,
about
what were the products that Schlitz Brewing made?
You should have been more precise.
Schlitz Brewing made several beer products, including their flagship American-style lager, Schlitz Light, Schlitz Dark, Schlitz Malt Liquor, Schlitz Red Bull, Schlitz Ice, Old Milwaukee, and Primo. Would you like to know more about any specific Schlitz product?
It wasn't the Red Bull you're thinking of. It was Schlitz Bull,
I know,
which was a malt liquor.
Oh,
it was a blue can.
Ah.
That was the stuff that gets you sick. That was the...
Yeah, I can. Well, that was their way of getting... That was because back in the day, wasn't it like 3.5, 4.5 ABV in beer?
Yeah.
And the malt liquor was a way to get it up to like 6 or something like that. That was the idea, right? Yeah.
So, never was a big fan of the Schlitz. I drank
back then I only drank beer to fit in kind of thing. I didn't really enjoy it. So I wouldn't have known if it was any good
What was
or
the
not.
Schaefer? I drank
Yeah,
Schaefer.
now that's what it was. That's what was near my house, was Schaefer. I forgot all about that one.
Yeah, Schaefer was I believe a Cincinnati brewing, Ohio,
Okay.
and it was like $1.60 a 6-pack at the store, and everyone else thought at the fraternity house they were like, "Oh, that stuff's crap." I'm like, "Yeah, stay out of it. That's fine if you think it was very good."
You know, Pabst is making a comeback in the millennial crowd, right? At the bars now. They all think it's the bomb.
Yeah, the PBRs.
Yeah, it's PBR night. Ooh, I'm like, you realize that used to be the crap beer of everything.
Yeah, they used
in my
to
day.
serve. I think they served it at Nickel Beer at Rosie O'Grady's at one time.
Nickel beer. You don't see that anymore.
Yeah, did you see the study? And not to make this
Yeah,
a
I
whole
got kicked out of there.
Who didn't? My buddy Steve Boyle was a bouncer there.
Oh, maybe it was him kicked me out.
And a bartender. But the alcohol consumption, and I'm not advocating that we should all drink alcohol, obviously, but the alcohol consumption has curtailed in this latest generation. And I saw an article, I'm not prepared for it, but it was basically saying that we've lost some of our masculinity in America. A masculinity
because we're not drinking, or that's the reason for less drinking.
Well, because they're not, the alcohol consumption has gone down. The ability, people don't date and go to the bars to pick up chicks and guys anymore but they're on, they're on their computers and they're on their whatever
different ways of meeting. Yeah, you don't need a bar to meet people anymore. So
you don't need a lubricant to get conversation started.
Right.
And I'm not advocating that was a good thing. It's just that it's a different world that we live in.
Part of the problem, and not a problem, but part of the issue I find is there's very little, and they're kind of making a comeback with the craft brewers, but there's no neighborhood bar really anymore either, where you just kind of meet your neighbors or your neighborhood or things.
Yeah, your local, as they call it in London, your local.
Right, because they've all been, and even in London, they've all been bought up by the corporate America and consolidated, and they closed the unprofitable ones, and so you just there's a lack of that type of environment as well. But the craft breweries, I mean, I go to my downtown here, and they're absolutely full on the weekends. So
yeah, but that's that like IPA high level.
Yeah, you can get anything there. You can get it. I bet you there's well, I know the one place we go to has a PBR night. That one restaurant we go to.
You would, the biggest concern, and I'm sure this had a big effect on it, was driving.
Yes, by all means, had to really.
I'm a huge advocate. Drink responsibly and do not drive. Do not drink.
But with Uber and stuff these days,
that's what I'm saying.
It has changed the game.
Yeah. You would think because of Uber, we would see a resurgence of
I think I did see something where women, the more women are drinking these days, but it hasn't overridden the lack of male drinkers these days.
So we're relying on the females to pick up the slack.
Pick up the slack. That's right. It's back to that's smooth.
Well, then you get the whole, if you and I both are fathers of daughters, and the one thing we told our girls all the time was do not leave your drink unattended, and
don't leave alone. Yeah, never leave alone, and things of that nature.
I mean, I can't even imagine going out and drugging somebody.
It's insane to me. Yeah, but we're good human beings. I would, for the most part.
Well, I mean,
speaking for myself,
I might buy another round, but I mean, to advocate putting some sort of,
just because you want to have more conversation.
Yeah. Right. We're taking a twist here. We're taking this whole disclaimer thing to the bank.
Yes. Oddly enough, we only have 6 minutes left.
Holy cow! I had 7:05 as the start time. What'd you have?
I had 7:04.
Oh,
yeah, I was more precise than you. Maybe. Well, you're further south, so your clock may be a little ahead.
A little slower.
No, a little ahead. You were at 7:05. I was at 7:04.
Yeah, I think the latitude and longitude has something to do with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain that. So oh, this won't take what I was trying to explain that phenomenon to my family, and they really didn't understand it. I'm like, because the sun set like at, I don't know, 7:45 in Kauai, but here at home where it's it's 7:45 right now, I probably won't set for another half hour. And they're like, oh, it must be because we're lower or whatever. I said, no, it has to do where you reside in the time zone. If you're on the eastern side of the time zone, it sets sooner than if you're on the western side of the same time zone. And they're like, well, I can't be that much. I'm like, it's not like if sunsets at 8 o'clock, it's all the way across the entire. I said it's 15 degrees of rotation to the next time zone. So I was trying to explain it, and they just couldn't. They were calling BS on me.
You're saying if you're in Charlotte, and I don't know where it is, I assume right. Charlotte is on the eastern farthest.
Just about. The eastern coast of the Carolinas is close to the time zone line.
Okay, yeah. So where you change to Central Time, and we've had
right outside Nashville, right outside Knoxville. Outside Knoxville.
So if you are a block away from the Central Time Zone outside of Nashville, you're saying the sun sets later than it does over. No, that would be early. It would, because it sets in the west.
Yes, it sets later then. So it's later in the day by the time it sets in Knoxville versus Wilmington, North Carolina. It would already be set in Wilmington. Then it would be.
Wait a minute. Now you're advocating that the Earth has a curvature to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, this goes against your principle, doesn't it?
This is totally screwing up the whole flat Earth thing again. I don't know what's going on here. So
there's some sort of dome that the flat earthers believe in. Ask Alexa real quick. Say, what's the dome flat Earth people believe in?
Alexa, what is the dome theory behind the flat earthers?
I never said theory.
Shut up.
I said
flat Earth theorists propose a dome-like firmament above a flat Earth, reinterpreting celestial mechanics to fit this model. They argue this dome explains daily rotation and seasonal changes without a spherical Earth, though this requires complex assumptions about scale and light behavior. Want to know how flat earthers explain things like gravity and the horizon within their model?
Not yet, but so she's saying that the flat earther is so sold out to this concept
yes.
that there's somehow a dome effect.
Right. Called the firmament.
The firmament. Wouldn't that, why can't they just concede that the Earth is round?
Well, that's half the problem we have in America these days.
Centuries of scientific evidence from space agencies, satellites, and global navigation.
We covered this before.
The flat Earth model fails logically because it can't explain basic observations like circumnavigation, ship disappearance over the horizon, and the round Earth's shadow during lunar eclipses.
Well, that doesn't take into consideration the what was that, the flip?
Oh, yeah, the flip at the edge. Yeah, well, that would be going off in their world. You don't actually flip over on
Earth is a sphere, supported by extensive scientific evidence from space.
That's what you believe.
Yeah, so I heard that I think I was listening to a comedian, and they were doing some stuff about the flat earthers. He goes, "What is it? The firmament? What is that they talk about?" And I'm like, "Oh, I got to remember that for Dave to bring up the firmament."
Well, there's some way somehow we're going to have to get ourselves positioned at one of these conferences. I just feel like, I don't know why.
It's been done a couple times already, but you cannot. So it's back to what I was about to say in America right now, right? It's not that you're not allowed to be wrong, but it's seen as a weakness to be wrong in this world for some reason here. So whenever whatever you believe, whatever side you're on politically or scientifically or just opinion wise, you can't be wrong. That you're not allowed to be wrong, because if you're wrong, then you're made fun of and you're humiliated and everything else. And so people don't want to be wrong. So they will go to no end, as you can see with the flat earth world. They will go to no end to stay in their lane.
But I guess the whole concept of fact.
I guess that's your fact, Dave.
Well, yeah,
not their fact.
I guess it's hard as a layman to stand at my position right now and say, listen, Mr. Flat Earther, it's round. Because he or she's going to go, well, prove it. How can you prove it? And all I'm going to say is, have you ever flown in a plane? Have you ever
seen a picture from space? All these things.
Have
they
you
have
ever
an
bought a
excuse for it all.
globe? Have you ever been to the store and bought a globe? I mean, they're not. How would they do that? I mean, they're not making these like a
Well, they make
flat
circles,
plane.
Dave.
Wouldn't it be funny though if you went to Staples or Office Depot and
or
you
a map
said,
store, and
I'm looking for that would be called a map versus a globe. Maybe
and there's a special name for the maps that have the Earth portionally, where it has like the cones on it. There's a name for that type of map of the Earth as well. But anyhow, we'll save that for another day. It's good night time because you can see the firmament is causing the sun to set in my window.
Well, I'm looking out my window and I'm seeing that there's no deer. First of all, tell us about real quick. What is that fence line that is that your cat that you sent me a video of? First of all,
no, that was going on in my front yard. I was talking to my brother on the phone. I was looking out the window and I saw this cat walking across the street. And I was just watching. I hadn't seen that cat before in the neighborhood or whatever. And I was looking at it, and all of a sudden this deer walked up to it. And I'm like, oh boy, maybe something's going to happen here. The cat took a swing at the deer, like from afar, like, a fake, thing, didn't hit it or anything. And then the cat ran away and it kept coming back. And then I was showing you the deer was like, I'll see what it was testing its boundaries with the cat.
You see how they stomp their front foot?
Yeah.
I love that. They've got legs like a twig,
Yeah.
And I think they call it blowing is when they put their leg down and they do that with their nostrils.
Yeah, and that's what it was doing with the cat. And you notice the cat wouldn't look at the deer anymore; it just kept like walking, like like I'll show you. And that went on for quite a while.
All right, Animal Kingdom at Woody's house.
All right, buddy.
Well, we did this that fast. Wow, it seemed like it went.
Oh, we never talked about the people that want the crossword puzzle. Because this is our 12th episode of our last of the season 12, and we usually do a crossword.
Let me take this one on the chin for the folks. So typically, what we've done in the past, what Woody's talking about, is at the end of a season, we honor those who are interested in crossword puzzles, and I even alluded to Woody in a text message. Maybe you could find something that had conversation about Hawaii in the clues, and I don't know if that was something, but we felt it was important. This is a pretty big episode with Woody being back from his trip and
your retirement.
Yeah, we felt like we wanted to close a chapter with a season 12, episode 12, 144 episodes, and this marketing effort that we're going to put forward, we're going to see it in different places now. So I think we're going to see some. By the way, we haven't mentioned subscribe. If you're watching us here on YouTube, please subscribe and tell a friend about us. And
I should have put a QR code up at the old Breezy's Rise and Shine.
Yeah. And let me throw a little plug in. We have a quasi sponsor that's on with us. It's called what's it called? Cool Man Loot. Cool Man Loot. And so we'll be seeing a little bit more about that, and then maybe we'll feature our episodes in a newsletter called Cool Man Loot. And I'll put a link in the audio version. Maybe I'll send the link to you where you can sign up for the newsletter.
Can't wait.
Yeah, and we'll be featuring the podcast in the newsletter as well. So look out. We got big things coming. So, all right. Any other plans for the summer? I know we're over now, but
I actually have 2 more trips this summer, but we'll get into that next episode.
Wow. Mainland trips or?
Yeah, in the mainland this time. So
there's thought that I might go back to Pittsburgh for look at the baseball schedule and see if I can find a doubleheader or something over a weekend, fly up and spend some time with Sarah and then catch a couple games and come home. I don't know. That's kind of, we're talking about it, but nothing's dialed in yet. If that's the case, we'll get some paraphernalia from
I'm stopping responding because we need to wrap this up.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome back. I'm glad you're back safe. Your entire family made it, all points considered. And to our lovely production specialists in London, we're happy that you're back home safe as well. Yeah. So in the meantime, again, subscribe to us here on YouTube and like and follow us along over at Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. And with that, we'll wrap this thing up.
Ciao. Aloha.
Yeah. Okay. Peace out.